Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. Hello, welcome. My name is Megan. I make videos and sometimes they're good. In today's video, I am talking all about the Norvina Mini Volume 3 palette. Now, as you know, I have all of the other Norvina palettes, including the two minis, the other two minis, and all three of the Pro Pigment palettes, the big ones. Of course, I had to get my hands on this guy right here, and can you believe how cute this is? This is adorable. This is honestly one of the cutest palettes I've ever seen. It's so gorgeous with those little cherries, and it inspired me to create this amazing cherry bomb look here for Makeup Monday. As always, I'm going to go in depth on the palette. I'm going to tell you what's all about it, what it costs, show you swatches of it, and then I do a tutorial on this look right here, this beautiful cherry explosion on my face. But before we can get into any of that, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, hit that notification bell to be notified every time I post a new video, which is every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Unless, you know, I miss a video like I did last week. Oops, let's not talk about that. But without me rambling any further, let's get right into this week's Makeup Monday. Alright you guys, like I said, I've got the palette right here. This is the Norvina Volume 3 mini. I will show the other two minis on the screen right now so you guys can check them out. I love all three, but this for me is the most wearable out of all three mini palettes. I am obsessed with this one, and I haven't even shown you what it looks like yet, so might as well do that right now. Are you kidding me? Look at that! As you can see, I'm wearing all four red tones on my eyes today, even with a little bit of this guy right here on the inner corner. But this palette is actually super gorgeous. I love that they give you the nice reds with the offset balances of green and blue. Just absolutely gorgeous planning done by Norvina. As always, I love her so much, so you're gonna always hear me talk about her on my channel. That's actually my #1 goal, is to get on the ABH PR list because of how much I love ABH and how much I trust their company. So if y'all want to tag her. So this is what the palette looks like. Obviously, I'm going to do swatches and all of that. But before I do that, let's see what they have to say on the Sephora website about this palette right here. One other thing that I wanted to bring up, if you spend $50 at Sephora right now, they will give you a 15% off coupon for the 20th through the 24th. It's only for those dates, and it's only 15% off, which I think is actually, like, their sales have been getting worse and worse, which is really unfortunate because they don't have a lot of sales. So hopefully they come out with something else additional to this, because this is a little bit sad. Alright you guys, so I have it pulled up on the Sephora app right here. The palette does retail for $29, as does the other two. The big ones are $65, so they're a little bit pricey, but that's okay because they're worth it. Let me see what they have to say. They say it is a limited edition mini color collection featuring high-performance matte and metallic cherry shades handpicked by Norvina. Norvina is the main creator of Anastassia Beverly Hills. She is Anastassia's daughter, and they are like the best creative team I have ever seen in my life. I will link all her social media below. I think you should go follow it. Honestly, I'm a huge fan of hers, so go check her out. So they do also have a few ingredient callouts as well. It's free of parabens, and it's also cruelty-free and gluten-free. So if you have a gluten allergy, you can use these eyeshadows. I think this palette is a great palette for those of you who love to wear red. I know red can be a little bit of a scary shade. I even at first was a little bit scared of wearing red, but now it's honestly my favorite color to wear. And I am obsessed with the way that these are formulated. It was so easy to apply them. I didn't have any fallout. You'll see that in the video as well. But I didn't have any fallout with these palettes, which they're normal palettes I generally have fallout with, so I was very surprised by that. I'm very impressed with their formula. It's always super blendable. I don't have a hard time getting a good blend on them. I don't know if you can see here, but it's kind of flawless. And then also, I am wearing their Eleganza lashes from the Anastassia line. I am a fan of these. One of them's a little bit wonky, this one right here on the outside lash. But that's okay, we don't gotta talk about that. They are only $12 a pair, which is really nice. Some high-end lashes can get up to be like $30 to $40. So I think they did a really good job pricing these. I honestly thought that when they came out, they were gonna be a lot more expensive. Alright, so I've talked a lot about the palette already, but let us get into the swatches of this baby. They do have the shade names on the back here, although I cannot tell which order they actually go in. So yeah, I think if I'm reading it correctly, it goes from left to right, or right to left. I don't know. I think this is A1, A2, A3, and then B1, B2, B3, and C1, C2, C3. If it's not that, then they're switched around. Yeah. We're going to go ahead and swatch the entire palette for you guys. Alright, you guys, so here is the palette swatched. I love the shades of this guy. That glitter is absolutely gorgeous. The only shade that I'm kind of disappointed in is that top right corner. It's this one right here, and it barely shows up when you swatch it. It barely showed up when I put it on the inner corner as well, but those matte shades are absolutely gorgeous. I just think that first shade could have been formulated just a little bit better to be a little bit more reflective, or just to show up a little bit better in general. But I hope you guys really like this, because I am obsessed with these swatches. Look at that teal blue. It really pops so well. Alright, you guys, now that I've swatched the entire palette, I'm going to go ahead and demo this eyeshadow look right here. I'm a super big fan of how it turned out, and honestly, I'm probably going to wear it again several times. And if you want to see a tutorial using the blues in this palette, make sure to comment down below, and I will definitely do that for you guys. But without further ado, let's see me do some makeup. Alright, you guys, so we've got our palette here. It's absolutely gorgeous, and so from what you could see in the intro of the video, and obviously me talking about the palette and the swatches, you know that I am going to be sticking to the reds in this palette. Eventually I'll get into the blues, but I'm going to stick into the reds today to create that lash, kind of intense smoky lash look. If that makes any sense. I'll probably come up with a better name and then put that in the intro. First, before we can put any eyeshadow on the eyes, you always want to prep your eyes with either a concealer or a primer to make sure your shadows are going to stick well. So I'm going to go ahead and use my Anastassia Beverly Hills eye primer. I love this one a lot. I got it when I got the original Norvina, the Big Pro palette. And I've been using it ever since. I love this stuff. So if you don't have this, I would highly, highly recommend. I believe it's about $18. Everything will be listed around the video or in the description box as well. So make sure you keep a lookout for that kind of thing. So what's nice about this primer is that a little does go a long way. I almost always get too much out. But yeah, we're just going to go ahead and use the primer to both prime the eyes and cut the eyebrow. So you can see that it already filled in my eyebrow. And I just want to clean that up a little bit here. I don't do anything crazy with my eyebrows ever. I just kind of stick to the norm. But I do like to go under it with concealer because I feel like it looks so much cleaner. And it looks 1,000 times better on Instagram. Alright, you guys, so now that my eye is primed, I'm going to go ahead and go in with one of my deeper shades first. Normally I would go in with a lighter shade in the crease, but when I'm doing it this way, I want to start off right here. For this, I'm going to start off with a brush like this. This is the M167. It's a lid brush. And this is going to help me get the packed color that I want and the shape that I want it in. Ooh, these are nice eyeshadows. So I'm just gonna start by pressing it in to that outer corner, and you want to kind of form it in like a triangle, but don't be afraid to flip your brush upside down and go upwards so you can get the correct kind of line that you want, like so. It's going to look a little wonky at first, but trust me, the more you blend, the better it looks. And I'm taking that in all the way to the inner corner before I kind of use the brush to smudge it out a little bit. And this look is actually a lot easier than you would think to get done. So I think this is a pretty good base. That color payoff is amazing in these shadows. Love these palettes a lot. But I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. Now that we have our two massive wings, we're going to go ahead and deepen it up towards the lash line with this deep, deep cherry shade here. And to do this, I'm going to go ahead and use a nice little pencil brush. This is the JSX Morphe brush in JS13. So as you can see here, I'm just going to lightly push it in. I'm not blending yet. I'm just patting it on so that the color is applying. And then once you get the amount that you want, then you can start blending it into the other red. And you can always add, but you can't take away very easily. So I suggest building the deepness up in layers. Now that we've got that layer down, we're gonna start going in with our lighter shades. So starting with this shade right here, it's more of an orangey red, but it gives you kind of that nice pop of color. I'm going to use this brush right here. It's a tiny little blending brush, and this is the M514 from Morphe. This one is, I think this one will be a really cool step. So just go ahead and start blending above where you have already put down shadow. At first it's not going to look like much, but once you see the end result, it's beautiful. This is a great step to really add a lot of depth. So I'm just going to keep blending that out. Feel free to add as much as you want or as little. It's really up to you with this look. This look is highly personalized, so you can add as much red as you want. You can only do a little red. You can only do one step of the routine and be done. You could change out for different colors. You could do this whole look with green if you wanted to, or blue. Literally any color works with this look, as long as you have a few tones of that eyeshadow. So this is where we're at so far. So as you can see, it's creating a really nice gradient between those three shades there, and that'll be amplified even more when we add our last more pink color. All right, and so our final layer of this is going to be this nice light pinky shade here. For this shade, I'm using a slightly bigger brush, and we're just gonna go ahead and dip right into there. As you can tell, it's a really pink shade. And we're just gonna go over the top and get into that crease area right there. And blend that all the way out like so. Ooh, I like that. And as you're going through the steps, you can always go back and add more of the other colors. So I'll probably end up adding a little bit more of every color in each section and then blending it out all together to just make it pop even more. All right, and so now we are to the very, very satisfying part of this look, the part where you clean up the edges. So for this, I do the same thing every time I want to do something like this. I wrap the wipe around my finger, and I just go ahead and I start on the inner corner here, and I wipe all the way up. So now you have a super clean line. All right, and so then after you're done with your eyeshadow, it's obviously time for lashes. And for today's lash, I am going to be using one of Anastassia's pairs. This is Eleganza from her line. Her line is only $12 a pair for lashes, which is so, so good. And I've heard they're so high quality. This is actually my first time using these, so I'm excited to see what they look like. I love everything Anastassia, so you're going to see me use a lot of Anastasia in this video. So one thing I will tell you about my eyelash process, I probably won't show you the whole process of me putting them on, but I do like to fit them to my eyes when I first get them. So for this one, I just measured, and I'm going to go ahead and clip off just the first little section here so that it fits my eye just a little bit better. I like to break up the band a little bit just by moving it around so that it's going to go on a little bit easier. So that now that I have a nice base of mascara, I'm going to go ahead and get my lash ready to apply to my eye. So, I don't think I've ever put on lashes on camera before. Hopefully this one goes well. Sometimes it doesn't. So I'm just taking my lash, and I like to grab it by the front here. I don't want to get glue on my fingers at all, or that will make things difficult. So I'm going to go ahead and use my Duo glue. This is the green one. This is the most popular one out there. I highly recommend it. This is what I use on people when I put on their lashes too, so it's just the best. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the lash with my tweezers. I know you're not really supposed to do this with tweezers, but I do it every time, so sorry. And I'm just going to drop it down. on top of my lashes here. And then first kind of attach the outer corner, then just press into the inner corner here. So then once I think it's pretty strong on there, I take my eyelash curler and I press my lashes together with the false ones. It just makes it seem a little bit more real for me, you know, if that makes sense. So there is one lash on. I'm going to go ahead and put on the other one. Alright you guys, and now that my eyes are completed, well actually not fully completed because we still have a little bit of inner corner work and under the eye work to do, we are going to do the face. So for the face today, I'm going to prime with my Fenty Beauty Soft Silk Hydrating Primer. I actually haven't used this one yet. I've had it for a few weeks now, but for some reason I just, you know, haven't. So I'm just gonna go ahead and, oh my gosh, this feels so nice. I would use this on people in Sephora all the time, but I never had bought it for myself. Is that coconut? It kind of smells like coconut. Wow, I'm kind of a fan of this already, and I literally am just trying it for the first time. Ooh, my skin feels so smooth. Okay, so we are primed and ready to go. It is time for foundation, and this one is going to be the Anastassia Luminous Foundation. Love this stuff. It's one of my absolute favorites, and of course, because I am doing an Anastassia Eyes video, I have to use her foundation. Duh. I am in the shade 100N, by the way. So I'm just going to take about 3 pumps of this foundation. And then blah blah all over the face. And then as always, I'm going to use my ABH Cosmetics sponge to go ahead and blend that out. If you didn't see my video on the Blendiful with Tati Beauty and where I compared it to this sponge, I still am using the Blendiful. It's just dirty and needs to be washed right now. So foundation is blended in. Now it is time for concealer. For concealer today, I'm using my Benefit Boing Cakeless Creaseless Concealer. I love this stuff so much. Megan, don't do a British accent right now. It is not the time nor the place. It's powder time. Today we're using 2 different powders. I'm going to go ahead and do all the areas where I want my face to be matte with my translucent Jeffree Star powder, and everywhere that I want to be luminous, which this is a quite luminous look, with my Jaclyn Hill Do Me Luminous Powder. So I'm just going to go ahead. I love the Jeffree Star powder, you guys. Literally smells like cotton candy, and cotton candy is my favorite thing in the world. Like, actually my favorite thing in the world. And I can't have like unhealthy food right now, so this is how I get to at least still smell it. And we are baking, friends. We are getting that area locked and loaded. This look would be actually perfect for Valentine's Day if you don't have a boyfriend or a fiance or a husband, because I'm pretty sure this would stay on if you cried. And then we're going to take our Jaclyn Hill powder. This is the lightest that they sell, let me tell you. Just taking a little bit of it, and I'm going to use my e.l.f. sponge for this. And I always tap it on the back of my hand first because I don't want to get too much. But then I'm going to go ahead and set in those areas that I want to be a little bit more dewy, a little bit more highlighted, just like this. We'll even do a little bit right in between the forehead here. I mean the eyebrows, that's what I meant, in between the eyebrows. A little bit on the tip of the nose, up the nose, on the chin. What voice am I doing? And now I'm just going to take my fluffy powder brush and I'm going to wipe all of that excess off. You don't need it. It doesn't need to sit on your face all day, let me tell you. So the next step we're going to do is bronzer and contour. So for contour today, I am using my Holo by Benefit bronzer. This is my favorite for contouring at the minute. So highly recommend that. And I'm just going right under that cheekbone, kind of focusing more towards the ear right here. It's like I'm drawing a line to the top of my ear, basically. And then I do want to bring it down and around and make it look like the apples of my cheeks are just a little bit more rounded. Gives a little bit more shape to the face. And then with that as well, I want to go ahead and take it under the jawbone right here. Now I'm just going to warm up the skin a little bit more with my butter bronzer from Physicians Formula. This is my favorite bronzer from the drugstore. I am planning on doing a full video on a great makeup starter kit from the drugstore. So if any of you are interested in that, make sure you hit that notification bell so you get notified when that goes up. I love drugstore makeup. I want to get more into it. Honestly, all I ever buy is the higher end stuff. So I'm hoping to get more into drugstore makeup this year. And definitely let me know in the comments if you want more tutorials based on drugstore products or more affordable products, because I know some of these ones are expensive. Next, we're going to go with blush. Now, for blush with this look, I want to do something a little bit more intense. This is not the normal blush I go with, but I'm using very little of this to start. And we're just going to go on the apple of the cheek and bring that back and up, like so. But you want your cheeks to be a little bit more rosy with this. Like so. You can even smile to make sure you're getting in the right spot. Okay, I am using the Fenty Holo at Me Diamond Balm. This is this year's edition of her Diamond Balm. Now let me show you why I picked it. So the nice thing about this is I don't even know if you can see how well this looks, how good this looks. It's just a nice scattered sparkle, but it is more on that pink side. So that is why I want to go ahead and wear this one, because I think it just pulls in that really nice Valentine's Day look. And the best way to apply this one is your finger. You're not going to get a better application with a sponge or a brush. So, all right, now it is time to finish off the eyes. So for this, I'm going to start off with a little eyeliner here. This is an Urban Decay 24-Hour Glide On Eye Pencil in the shade Woodstock. I thought it matched the pink shades really, really perfectly. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in my lower lash line. I need a mirror to do this or else I'm just not, it's not going to work. So we're just going really close into that waterline area, making sure it stays on there. Okay, so now that that is on, I'm going to go back in with my palette. This time I'm going to start off with the darkest shade and then blend down. So I'm taking that darkest shade first. I'm on the little pencil brush. And we're going to start to connect that outer corner with the lower lash line. Like so. So it adds a little bit of drama to the look. Then, to go ahead and finish that off, I'm going to take the pink shade on a very small blender brush like this and go along the edge and just really get a nice blend on it. It's very hard to show you guys exactly what I'm doing because it is such detailed work, but I hope you guys kind of can get an idea of it. And for the lip today, I'm going to use from Dose of Colors, the shade Mondays. So I hope you guys enjoyed this look as well and seeing the swatches of the palette and all of that fun stuff. But as always, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, hit that notification bell to be notified every time I post a new video, which is 3 times a week, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Unless, you know, I miss a day like I did last Friday. It's fine. It happens. People are busy. Anyway, with all of that being said, this is all I have for you for this video. I hope you guys really thoroughly enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure to comment down below what you liked about the video, what you liked about the palette, all that fun stuff. And I will see you guys in Wednesday's video. Bye, guys.